All right. So, Capricorn, let me just see 8, 9, 10, 6. Um, there's a lot going on here, and I feel for some of you, I'm trying to focus on because the messages are coming to me like they're scattered and they're kind of coming all at once. We have the Emperor. This is representative of Aries, and it's in the reverse position. And then I have two tens. And I feel like there are cycles that for some of you, these tens are coming to an end because we're almost at the end of the cycle. And then there's new beginnings coming in. There's new offers or something new coming in. Now, this I'm first going to I had a comment from somebody about, oh my gosh, I did a reading and they were like, okay, love, this is not a love reading, or I don't know, they said something to that effect. And sometimes the way the messages come into me, like the most important ones come in first. And I sometimes forget to cover all areas because, so I apologize to them. But anyway, so let me first cover love situation. I feel that for some of you, there has been a situation, and this could be like regarding a marriage. For those of you that are married, we definitely have family here. We have two fours. Okay. So I feel as if there is a possibility where, and this I feel like you already know, where there may have been some lying or infidelity or cheating or promises offered that never came really to fruition, or this person kept saying, we'll do this, and it just was never followed through. And I think that that is why this could definitely be representative of you, Capricorn, where you're kind of discouraged or you're isolated or you're upset with this person. And it can be a male, since it is the Emperor, does not have to be. I mean, it could be a female, but I'm just going with what I'm picking up since it's coming up as a male. But like I said, it's interchangeable. But, and it's almost like I feel that this person may be trying to come back in, or you're contemplating, like they're trying to do things to make up for their wrongdoings, or, like it's almost like I'm sorry, for what I did. And you're just, for some of you, you're not quite buying it. You really relied and believed on this person or in this person. You really felt like they had your back, that they, really cared for you, loved you. And, for some of you, it's just like, it's not quite enough yet. They're going to have to do more to make up for what they did. Now, for some of you, it's also because you've got other choices out here. I mean, this is not like the only person. So it's going to be different for everybody. Now, for some of you, this is regarding family. And this is like, you're trying to keep your family and possibly children together. So it's a much heavier situation as opposed to like somebody who's, single and there's no children involved. There's no marriage. There's no, money involved or home that you might have to sell if you choose to go your separate ways. And maybe you've been seeing this person for a month. Not that it's, not painful, but, it's just going to be different. Now, for some of you, I feel like, with this in the outcome that, with time, and with quite a bit of time for some of you might be quicker. They come back. You do accept, their offer, and, things get restored, but it's going, it's slowly. It might even be like you give them a trial period in terms of love. So, and for some of you, you get back together, but it may not be the best choice. But some of you, it's going to take some time to see how things go. But I do like the 5 better in reverse than upright. Okay. So, and for some of you, it could be that you are like divorced, or you just ended something and there's new love. The possibility of new love coming in for you. And it could even be like while traveling that you find new love. Now, with this many cups, and, your pentacle, Capricorn, they could be a water sign. Now, I always tell people, don't rely on the signs. I mean, it could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but this could also be somewhere in their chart where they have a lot of water in them. So if you meet somebody and they're not a water sign, that doesn't mean go run the other way. Because you never know. A lot of times it could be, when, like if I say, I feel like it could be Aries, well, maybe someone who's in Aries will introduce you to, somebody that is right for you. So that's, be, flexible when these signs come up, especially because I'm reading for thousands of you. Okay. So, that's what I'm picking up in terms of love. For some of you, it could be, you're deciding, do I want to be with this person? Are we going to separate? Are we going our separate ways? Because I feel like with the Emperor, somebody, I'm picking up, possibly there could be someone in the relationship that has a drinking problem, or that, I don't know. I keep getting some kind of like infidelity, or you keep giving them chances. And, for some of you, it's the opposite. It's almost like this is in the upright where, you're deciding what we're going to do with this marriage or this relationship in May. But I'm feeling it, since it came out in reverse, it's more like, somebody has to really kind of woo you back. And this could be somebody from the past. So, usually if they're in the past or it's someone from the past, usually there's a good reason why they're from the past, and maybe that's why you're very hesitant in accepting, the situation. Now, I do want to say this. I do feel like there may have been a situation in terms where somebody I'm going into work now, where somebody has lost a job, and that there is possibly going to be an offer coming in. I find it so interesting, really, in my readings for May. Quite a few of them have had a strong play on the number 5, and the 5 is obviously the 5th month. So some of you may be going back to work. You've been, waiting and waiting for that right offer, or the challenges that maybe you've had offers. For some of you, maybe you've had too many. But for some of you, it's like you're holding out for that right job or for the right amount of money. Like this being in the challenge position, it's not enough money to support your family. And that's possibly why you've been turning things down. But there may be a situation where, there's a job that comes in, I feel like for some of you, maybe your family has been helping you or supporting you, and they no longer can do that. And I'm talking about like relatives. For others of you, you've had no support, and it's getting to the point where you have to either take something, because you just, like your reserves are running low. And you also need to pay the bills, because there's a lot of like, with the home and the family, because we have 2 4s here, and there's a lot that speaks to an actual home. Some of you might be a little concerned, and you'll know who you are regarding eviction, or concerns about, where am I going to live? So, I feel like for some of you, there is a job offer that comes through, or there's a job offer. It's not the greatest, but it's going to help. It's going to let you, get by until that right one comes, and you're going to take it. And that's why this is in, the reverse. It's more temporary. You're going to trial, like the trial and error, like in terms of love, you're going to feel it out. And then I feel like, for some of you further down the road, something better comes. Now, I also am feeling like in terms of health wise, there could be a situation where, I'm getting like, I'm getting very, I'm seeing this as almost feeling depressed, feeling sad. But there is hope here. I want you to know that even though it's been difficult, it's like there's still some hope, and I'm glad this is in the reverse position. Now, I feel the sadness, though, may also be not just from love, well, like love as in terms of romance, but I'm getting fatherly figure or an elderly person in your life, or a relative or a grandfather. Could also be a female. But, I'm really focused on the father figures. Now, I'm getting the message that some of your love, romance issues, or difficulties may stem back from childhood, or the foundations, especially with these 2 4s. The foundations weren't quite there to really, and there's no blame here. It's just, there's no one to blame. It's just the way things happen. But I feel like the foundations weren't quite firm enough, or there may be even something genetically that you're predisposed to something, or somebody in like your partner or the people that you're calling in terms of love. There's some predisposition. I don't know, to calling in a type of person based on how you grew up. Like, I feel like this is almost you from childhood. And, so for example, I'll give you an example. Maybe there was, I don't know, alcoholism in the family, and you call in somebody that, we try and sometimes do the opposite, but we end up getting what it is that we don't want. Or maybe, let's see here. We didn't have the family support, like the structure. We kind of mimic what we saw growing up as children, and maybe there wasn't a lot of love or support around us. And as much as we want the opposite, we end up calling in people that are unavailable emotionally, because we didn't have that emotional love. Something like that is what with these 10s, it's like there's something that keeps happening over and over, that the cycle needs to be broken. But I do feel that there is also concerns about a fatherly figure. This may even be with the number four. I don't know if there's four siblings, four generations, or something about land or the sale. Like this may have been already a loss, like a passing. And there's arguments or trying to settle an estate or an inheritance and excuse me, and there's difficulties in that. There's arguments or something was supposed to be divided a certain way and somebody's getting less than what they required. Wow, that's weird. The flash just went off. So, so this is obviously, now this may also be, what are we going to do with, somebody that's not doing well? They're being displaced. Could be a challenge with money or they're not getting the help, or they don't know, the resources that are out there. And, this also could be with the five, some conflicts, regarding a division in the family. But I feel like with this being in the outcome, there's going to be some kind of restoration or relief. So let me just see if there is anything else that, that I am picking up. Really has to do with also new beginnings, getting back on your feet. I do feel, though, that there's something about fatherly figure and possibility or grandfather or someone, where maybe they're having difficulties moving or mobility. There could be fluid or something like buildup and, you're trying to decide as a family, what to do. I'm also getting that there is possibility of someone that has passed. And, it's been difficult to get over, but I feel like, there's light coming in and you may even get a sign from this person from, if they've crossed over. So, I do feel that there's going to be some kind of relief and some light. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And, and I feel like maybe there's, situations where somebody is just ready to okay, it's done and buried. Let's move on. The tens are the end of the cycle. The fours represent not only family, but, foundation structure, but also stability. And it represents new beginnings. And I feel like somebody's like, let's bury the past and let's start new. Or you're like, this part's over and I'm moving onward and something new is coming in for you.